Hey, this is Mark from the 215 Guys, and I wanted to talk a little bit about a question that we get a lot from our clients. It makes a lot of sense that they would ask us this, seeing as they're buying a website and they want to know, should I focus on SEO? Now that the website is live, they want to know what they should do digital marketing wise. So it makes a lot of sense that they would ask this question. Short answer to this is yes, there should be some sort of SEO going on at all times. The websites that we make always have the very basics of SEO, um, but we're not always focusing on SEO for them, and that's really where the crux of this question comes, and what I want to talk about is the really what we mean by focus on SEO. So when I think of focus on, I think of like putting it at the top of or near the top of priorities for digital marketing. And I think for some companies, absolutely, you should focus on SEO, and for some, you shouldn't, because there are other things that you can be doing. And we had a client recently who we actually told, no, you should not focus on SEO right now. And that client, they sell custom made wood products, things like mirrors and shelves and things like that. They started their business on Etsy, and that still Etsy still is their main source of income and revenue, and actually where they focus most of their effort. And we launched their website recently, and they asked if they should focus on SEO. So I talked with them a little bit about it and found out about their Etsy store, and that they're really focusing all in on there. And I asked them about social media, about their Instagram and Facebook, and we found out that they're not doing anything. They have accounts, but they're not actively posting or engaging on there, which makes sense. I also really don't like posting on social media, and they felt the same way. So it makes sense that they're not using it. Um, but for me, at least for the suggestions we gave them, because they are a husband and wife team, they don't want to invest in SEO right now. They don't have the manpower to focus on SEO and create content and do all this other stuff themselves. So to me, it made a lot more sense to advise them to focus on their Etsy store, keep fostering the people on there, and focus on Instagram. Their products, they're beautiful products, really well made, and and they photograph really well. So Instagram, being a visual platform, a visual medium, is perfect for this kind of product and this kind of business. It just makes sense that they should focus on Etsy and build up their Instagram and a following and get people on there, and um, focus on that. It doesn't make sense for them to try to rank for a keyword like custom wood mirrors. They're just going to be competing against Etsy for one, but also maybe eBay, Amazon, Walmart, even probably all these big box stores that they're going to be competing against, and it's just not gonna they're not going to rank anytime soon, if ever. So why not target buyers where people typically go after pretty things like on Instagram? And in contrast to them, there are a lot of instances where you would want to do SEO and you should focus on SEO. We have one client who is a dumpster rental company, and we think that their business model, because it's very different from the custom wood company, lends really well to SEO. So as someone who wants to rent a dumpster, your buying journey is going to be very different from if you were buying a wood mirror. Um, you don't see a dumpster on Instagram and say, "Hey, I'm going to go rent a dumpster," but you do that if you see a pretty wood product. You might say, hey, that would look really good on my wall. I'm just gonna get that. But you don't do that with dumpsters. If you're moving, or you bought a house or something and you need to clean out another house, or your other rental, you have a bunch of stuff to throw out, or you're renovating and you have to throw out everything that you're demoing, you need a dumpster. And so you really only get a dumpster when you know you need a dumpster. You don't just see one and say, hey, I should get a dumpster. So what happens for the majority of people who rent a dumpster is they say, hey, I need a dumpster. I should go and Google where I can rent a dumpster. So they go into Google, usually Google, they type in dumpster rental or local dumpster rental or dumpster rental near me, and they just contact whoever shows up. So it makes a lot of sense that the company that we're helping, that they would rank highly on Google. And they do now that we've helped them. So that's why they chose to focus on SEO, because it actually does make a lot of sense for them to do that as opposed to something like Instagram. Though they do have a nice Instagram, they post really nice photos. It's just not a focus for them. It's just like if one of their guys is out there, they just snap a photo and that's it. They just post that, and it's not a focus for them, but they still do it. And that's kind of how it. Conversely, for the wood company, they focus on Instagram and they know about SEO, but it's just not a focus for them. But it's something that they work on every once in a while.